As we move further into the Word 2016 course, we will be applying the skills and tools we learned in the first section of the course where we introduced you to the Word 2016 environment. If you haven't already done the lessons in Section 1 of the course, you may want to do them now before continuing in order to be able to follow this section more closely and to be prepared for the next level of using Word 2016 to create, edit, format, view, and print documents. In this segment of the course in Microsoft Office Word 2016, we are going to be learning about creating documents and working with files. Let's start Microsoft Word by clicking on the Word icon, which should be located on your Windows taskbar, or if the program is not pinned to your taskbar, you can locate it by clicking on the Start icon on the taskbar. We cover starting Word 2016 in more detail in the Section 1 of the course. You may want to review that section if you are having a problem locating the program. When you have found Word 2016, click it, and the Word 2016 program will be started. As we shared with you earlier in Section 1, when we first start Word, we get the Word Open Document screen. On the Word Opening screen, we see two different what we call panels. One to the left in blue background, where we see the word Recent, and one to the right in gray background. On the left panel, as you can see under Recent, it shows documents recently opened today, this week, and last week. When we look on the left panel at the Recent Documents area, we see that Word opened Word document types by the Word document icon shown to the left of the file name. Later we will learn about the different document types Word can open. Underneath each recently opened document name, below the name you can see the location where the document is stored, including the folder and path to the document. By clicking on one of these recently opened documents, it will be automatically opened in the Word text area for editing, viewing, or printing. So, documents you've worked on today and recently this and last week can be opened easily without looking for or locating them by clicking on them if they are listed in the Recent Documents area, here on the left panel of Word's initial opening document screen. We will see in a moment after we demonstrate opening a recent document from here on the initial opening document screen, how the Recent Documents area is displayed slightly differently when we access the Open option from the File menu. For now, let's demonstrate accessing a document from our recently opened list by clicking on one of them. When we click on a recent document, we see that the document is now opened in the Word environment in the text area. You should take a look at the top and take note that the document name is displayed in the title bar area at the top of the screen here. The document name in the title bar is the name given to the Word document when it was saved, and Word will always display the name of a document opened in the text area here in the title bar. So, we've opened a document directly from the recently opened documents in Word's initial open document screen. Let's access the File tab now on the ribbon. Click the File tab. When we click on the File tab, you should be able to recall from the previous lesson where we covered the File tab in the Backstage view. We are at the place where we do everything we do to a document that we don't do in the document. If you recall, on the left panel of the File menu, we get the list of options available to us for working with files. You see that Open is one of those options. And take note also that Close is one of those options as well. Now, I want you to click on the Open option and take note of where the Recent Documents area is now displayed. You see that Recent Documents, which you can open just by clicking, is now displayed on the right panel in the right pane, whereas when we first opened Word, the Recently Opened Documents area was on the left. Now, in the right panel, which has two panes, with the Recent Documents area on the right pane, look at the left pane. Here, you have several options available for gaining access to, that is, opening a file. And take note, here, you see that at the top of the Word option, Recent appears, and is indicated that it is selected by it being highlighted. This is why, on the right pane presently, we see a list of recent documents. We will see that when we select one of the other options on the left pane of the Open option of the File menu from the left panel, how it will display different information on the right pane accordingly. For now, let's just select another document from our Recent Documents area on the right pane to open, even though we already have one document opened, the one we selected when we first started Word. Let's click on our second recent document. By clicking on a different document in the Recent Documents area, as you see here, it is also opened automatically in the text area for editing and printing, and you can see the name of that document in the title bar area. We now have two documents opened in Word, and the text area is showing the one we just opened. And it is currently the only displayed document window. We will now see how we can switch between document windows when we have multiple documents opened in Word, as well as split up or arrange our screen in the text area so that we can view multiple documents simultaneously in their own window. Then we will use the File menu to close the files and discuss the other File tab menu Open options. Let's go to the ribbon and click the View tab. Under the View tab, we see several options which we are familiar with already. You see the View options. You also see Zoom options. You see that you also have under the View tab commands grouped together under Show. Here you can turn the ruler or grid lines or navigation pane on or off. But what I want you to take note of here are the commands grouped together under the word Window on the commands bar, and the icon with the words Switch Window underneath it with the arrowhead pointing down. Let's click on Switch Window. We see we get a drop down listing the two document windows we have opened, and if there were more than two, their names would also be listed among the list for us to point to and select by clicking to bring to the text area for editing, viewing, or printing. Alternatively, we can type the number of the document window in the drop-down we want to show in the text area. You can see that we currently have document 2 in the text area, the document we just opened. We want to show now the first document we opened. So let's click on the first document we opened, as you see here, or type the number 1. You see that Word has brought the first document we opened to the text area. Let's repeat this demonstration. This time we will use the Switch Window option to display the second document and then switch back to the first document. By clicking on the View tab of the ribbon, as we did, you see we get the commands related to viewing the document. And under the commands grouped under Window, we see Switch Window. We click on Switch Window, as you see here. When we click on Switch Window, we get the drop-down listing the documents by number that we have opened. Type the number 2, or click on the second document, and as you see here, it is brought to the text area. Watch as I repeat the demonstration. I click Switch Window. This time, I type in the number 1, or click on the first document, and voila, here it is in the document area. Now, another command in the Window group of commands under the View tab of the ribbon is the View Side-by-Side command. Let's take a look at the icon next to View Side-by-Side, noting to remember it, and let's click it. When we click the View Side-by-Side command, we see that both document windows are displayed on the screen in separate Word windows, each in its own text area. We can now edit, format, view, or print either Word document window. We can select which document or window we want to edit by clicking it. The active Word window will, as you see here, have the document name in the title bar, as you see here highlighted in white, while the inactive Word window will have the document name in its title bar without highlight or shaded in light gray. If you look in the command bar just underneath the View Side-by-Side command, you have two commands associated with it that are only available when we are in View Side-by-Side. You see here the synchronous scrolling command, and as you see here, when we click it in both documents and scroll up and down, both document windows scroll simultaneously together. This option is often used to compare documents line by line to compare them for differences. Also, you have the Reset Window Position command, which is only available when you select View Side by Side. The Reset Window Position is used to place the documents you're comparing side by side so they are sharing the screen equally. In order to cause Word to display one single window, we can just click on the View Side by Side icon you see here, as I told you to recall, with the two blank pages, with the folder corners side by side, if you remember. When we click the View Side by Side icon again, we see that we get one Word document window as before. And at any time, we can switch to any of the documents we have open by using the Switch Window command. If you would like to view your current document in two places simultaneously, watch as I demonstrate. Say, for instance, if you have a large document and you want to view the table of contents toward the end while editing in a different section of the document, you can use the Split option, as you see here, to split the Word window into two panes for your document so you can edit or view it simultaneously in two places. You click in the command bar, Remove Split to close the second pane. Likewise, the New Window command allows you to place your current document in multiple windows so you can work on it in multiple places at one time. The last multiple window command, Arrange All, basically instructs Word to stack all of your open windows so you can see them at once. Now that we know how to open multiple documents and work with multiple documents and multiple windows for a single document, let's close these two documents by going to the File tab on the ribbon and clicking Close. Let's demonstrate the Close command and how it performs. At this point, no changes have been made to the two documents we have open. So when we go to close the first document, as we will do now, Word will just close it and return us to the document editing screen with our second document in the text area, as we will see now. I click the File tab. I get the backstage view of the document with the File Options menu. I click on Close, and as you see, the document is closed, and we are returned to the document editing screen in the Word environment. Now, I'm going to demonstrate what happens when you try to close a document that has been opened and changes have been made, but not saved already when the Close option is selected. I'm going to make some changes to the document we have on the screen. I'll just delete some text, let's say, for instance, and add a few lines of type. Now, I've edited the document. Normally, when you make edits to your document, you're going to want to save it periodically in case of the uneventful, unexpected, such as a document crash or error you might make while editing. But in this case, for demonstration purposes, we're going to close our document and not save it, and watch how Word handles this kind of scenario. Let's click on the File tab of the ribbon, and on the File menu, select the Close option. You see now, Word is displaying a dialog box telling us the document has not been saved and asking us what to do. Save it, don't save it, or cancel the close procedure. Here, we can click to save our document at this point, which Word will do, and then close it, or click Don't Save, which will cause Word to discard the changes I just made, leaving the document unchanged, and then close the document. We also have the option to click on Cancel in the dialog box, which instructs Word to cancel our instruction to close the document and return us back to the document editing screen in the Word environment with the document still on the screen in the text area. At this point, we're going to click Don't Save, as we will be going over creating and saving documents in the next lesson. So let's click on Don't Save for now. Okay, you can see we are back in the Word environment with an empty text area and no documents open. To finish this segment of the Microsoft Office Word 2016 course, the last thing we want to do is review the open file options in the backstage view of the File tab of the ribbon. So let's do that by clicking on the File tab on the ribbon. We see that we can only choose from New or Open, Account, or Options, since there is no currently open document. On the right panel of the Open option of the File tab, we have various locations we can choose from to open a document on the left pane. You are already familiar with the options available on the right pane. As we have already demonstrated, you can open documents listed that were opened yesterday, this week, or last week. Look at the options we have on the left pane for opening documents. You see that we have an option at the top highlighted indicating Recent, and on the right pane you see the recent files you can choose from. Just below Recent on the left pane, you see on my screen an option to open documents from OneDrive, Microsoft's cloud system, and by clicking here, you will get a directory of folders and files you can open which are stored on your Microsoft cloud. You can open a file from here by clicking on it, as you see here. The document I accessed from my Microsoft OneDrive cloud account is opened in Word for editing, viewing, printing, and sharing. I'll close this document by going to the File tab and clicking on Close. It closes with no dialog box, questioning because I didn't make any changes to it. Let's go back to the Open option on the File tab. Now, look, just below the OneDrive Cloud icon, you see an icon indicated by an S in a blue box with the words Sites next to it. Here you can find a list of different locations or websites by clicking. When I click here, you see a site listed on the right pane which I can access and open files from just by clicking on the site. Below Sites, you see that you have the option to open a file from this PC, and when you click on it, you see on the right pane a list of folders and or files which can be opened by clicking as you see demonstrated here. Underneath this PC, you see a plus sign with the words Add a Place. Here you can add different cloud locations from which you can access documents using Microsoft's SharePoint. The last item on this list of options for open locations in the left pane, as you can see, is the Browse option, which is indicated by a folder icon. If we want to open a document that is stored somewhere on our computer or local area network we're connected to, we can use the Browse option to explore the computer's folders, browsing to locate the file we want to open. Let's use the Browse method to look inside the computer for a file. Click on the file icon in the left pane of the right panel where it says Browse. You see you get a Browse window showing the documents library listing the files there. If you are familiar with Windows, then you know how to explore the computer's folders using this Browse window. Let's scroll down using the scroll bars to the right in this Browse window and locate a document file. Click on a document file. You see that it is highlighted. Its name shows near the bottom where it says File Name. Now click Open. The document we clicked is now opened in the text area ready for editing. You can close the document when ready by using the File tab and the Close option, as you see here. In the next segment of the course, we will show you more about creating, saving, and working with different file types. Continue on with us in the next lesson as we go further into creating different kinds of documents, as well as the various options in saving our document that are available in Word 2016. This concludes this segment of the course.